This is the Mike McFeely Show on Live Local First, 790 KFGO and KFGO.com.
Well, I was supposed to take the entire week off because I took vacation for this week, the third week of July. But as it turned out, I decided to come into work today instead. And I'm glad I did, because there is a controversy brewing both online in the Facebook, Twitter world, and also in the pages of our local newspaper, The Forum, and also on the airwaves of the mighty 790 KFGO. Folks, this is the Mike McFeely Show. It is a Tuesday edition, and if you have heard our news rotation throughout the day, and if you're listening to the Jack and Sandy Show, you know that the local paper, The Forum, which employed me for, the better part of 20 years, has found itself in the middle of a kerfuffle involving the announcement of same-sex marriages in their paper. A couple of women, Kelsey Smith, 27 of Fargo, and Allison Johnson, 31 of Austin, Texas, live in Fargo, but they're going to get married August 1st in New York City. They submitted an announcement to the Forum to have it announced in the paper, like everybody here locally does when they get married. It's printed in the celebration section. I think people paid $25 to have it in the Sunday paper, and that lets everybody know that they're going to be married. The couple received an email, I believe yesterday, saying that, sorry, your announcement has been rejected because we do not accept announcements from same-sex couples. It has gone viral on Facebook because the couple is upset. They have a lot of supporters who are upset. And in fact, I know the story has now gone regionally and maybe even nationally on MSNBC. And to talk about this, and I appreciate him very much coming on, is the editor of the Forum newspaper here in Fargo-Moorhead, and his name is Matt Von Pinnon. Matt, welcome to the program, and thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
So what's going on here? Let me be fair and ask you this question first. Has these situations come up before in the past, or have these situations recently caught you off guard and not really knowing what to do? What's the history here?
Well, I can say that we did have an announcement that we rejected about a couple months ago, 2 to 3 months ago. It had some similarities and it had a few differences. It was a male couple, and they submitted their announcement via old-fashioned mail with their picture and their money, and we wrote them a letter back saying that we would not publish it and refunded their money. And in that we explained that our policy is such that we follow North Dakota and Minnesota laws regarding marriage when it comes to our policy on announcements. And the difference with that one is that it was a commitment ceremony. The one that we received on Saturday, that actually we didn't see until Monday when our celebrations editor comes in. And the difference between this one and that one is that Allison and Kelsey are being married in New York, which is a state that does allow for legal same-sex marriage. And so we wrote them back, and obviously the rest is history.
Can I get this out there? And I don't know if you want to go someplace with it or not, Matt, but the celebrations editor is a woman by the name of Diana Bauman, and her name is on the email that's been printed. I saw it on some websites, and some people put it on Facebook. And as I understand it, because I still have friends at the paper, Diana's getting just roasted here on social media.
Yeah, she just responded as an agent of the newspaper, just as any employee would that is following directives that are given by managers. So she is getting quite a bit of feedback, and it's not really fair to her. She's not the one who made these decisions, and she shouldn't be criticized for it.
And that's I wanted to say. Lay off Diana, people. Don't blame her. It's the Forum institution company that has this policy. She's just implementing the policy that's in place. So where are you right now, Matt? Have you had meetings? Have you come to a conclusion of whether or not you're going to change the policy? Can you break some news here on the show?
Well, I don't have any news to break. We did meet this morning. A bunch of managers met, and we are meeting again tomorrow. Right now, we're kind of doing some fact-finding to learn as much as we can about how other papers handle this. They're all over the map, I can tell you that, even within our region to some degree. And we're trying to get a sense of kind of how people have set their guidelines in this area. It's pretty safe to say that in general, the larger markets allow these, and almost conversely, smaller markets tend not to. And so, we're trying to gauge how papers are handling it. And of course, as a result of the flap over this, the uproar, if you will, we're hearing from a lot of people, obviously through social media. And that's how most people are hearing about it. But, we've taken lots of phone calls today. We've received lots of emails about it. And frankly, in the community, although it tends to lean, I think, toward publishing these, we're hearing from a fair number of people as well who are urging us not to change our position on this issue. So we're taking that all into consideration, and we'll be sitting down again tomorrow to discuss it further once we know more. And frankly, yesterday the stuff that was out there was largely in favor of changing our policy, and as a result of the attention on it, including our own story and whatnot, today we're starting to hear kind of from the other side.
There's going to be blowback from one side or the other. No matter which way it would have started off, you would have gotten blowback from the other side to kind of try to have a pushback.
And I wanted to put something out there. I reached out to Allison and Kelsey this morning, and I invited them to come in for a face-to-face conversation because we never did have that to begin with.
Forum Communications has many newspapers. Is it going to be a company-wide thing, or is it up to the individual newspapers? Because I saw somewhere today where the Duluth News-Tribune, for example, says that they allow same-sex announcements. Is it going to be a company-wide thing, or is it strictly individual properties?
Well, I can't really speak on behalf of the entire company, but my understanding right now is that there are papers within the company that do allow these announcements to be printed. And so my understanding is that right now, at least, it's a local market decision.
One of the issues that I have, and I tweeted about this it earlier today, is that even when I was at the paper, Matt, and I get it when you say that the same-sex marriage announcements, you go by what the laws are in the state, and that's a company policy, that's fine. But the Forum also accepts a lot of other kinds of ads. It accepts ads from strip clubs, and it accepts classified ads from adult entertainment. I know that the police chief has accused the Forum of fomenting these websites where prostitution the hookups are made. How do you say that on one hand you're not going to print this certain, it's a paid advertisement, it's $25. How on one hand do you say that, then on the next hand you say, well, but we're going to take that, add that, and that ad?
Well, I think, Mike, that the paper has looked at the laws as kind of guiding principles. It's also, I think, a reflection of probably sentiment within the state. I mean, there's obviously been many attempts to change the laws and whatnot, but right now in Minnesota and North Dakota, the law does not recognize in either state gay marriage. And I think, if anything, what we've tried to do is look at that as kind of a litmus for the public sentiment about this issue. It's a very heated debate. We find ourselves kind of right in the middle of that. And as you said, as an institution, I think people are looking to the paper to kind of determine the direction of this debate in our area.
Well, and in 2004, the newspaper, I was still there at that time, the newspaper editorialized very strongly against the same-sex marriage constitution in North Dakota. It's the same thing Minnesota's going through right now.
Right. But it's important to know that editorial position was based upon the opinion that we did not believe that it should be an amendment to the Constitution. We did not believe that was the place to make the case. We thought that was a legislative issue, and we've been really consistent on that. We've come out against a lot of issues that have tried to be amendments to the Constitution, and we we see the Constitution as a pure document, that it should not just be amended every time that there's a feeling of public debate over something.
And that, okay, I get. So you're not saying you're for gay marriage. You're saying that you're against the process of the way that
we
folks
were
about
opposed to placing an amendment like that in the Constitution of the state.
Gotcha. Matt, I know you have another meeting to get to here. You said 2:30 with Allison and her partner. So I'll let you get going to that. Thanks for coming on. And if you could do me one favor, I'd greatly appreciate it. When you make a decision, call KFGO and have us have it first, okay?
I'll see what I can do there.
Hello? Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay.
Matt, thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thanks,
it. Yep,
Mike.
Matt Von Pinnon, editor of the Forum. What do you think about that, folks? What do you think about what he said? And do you think that the Forum should change its policy? Do you think that they should look at it and say, regardless of the laws of Fargo, of North Dakota and Minnesota, should they allow same-sex marriage announcements in the pages of their newspaper? I have come out and said, yeah, they should. It's legal in New York. It's legal where this couple is going to get married, and so why not treat it as such? I know that locally here it's not legal, but who cares? They're going to be married legally by the people of New York, so why not look at it that way? 237-5948, 800-880-5346. Studio at kfgo.com is our email. This is the Mike McFeely Show on the Mighty 790 KFGO.